So thank you to everyone for joining, and welcome to today's session on gshift and SiteCondor. Um, as I mentioned off the top, we're going to be leaving everybody on mute for the session. If you have any questions at all, though, please enter them into the questions section, and I'll be happy to get to those at the end, so we can get through the content today. The session is being recorded, so if you're not able to stay through to the end, we'll be sending out the recording to anyone who's registered, and happy to get that to you in the next day or two. And of course, wanted to thank you all first and foremost for being loyal SiteCondor customers. As you may or may not know, or probably realize at this point, gshift acquired SiteCondor back on August 26th, and we're very excited to have the tool site as part of our platform, and that's primarily what we're going to be talking about today is the gshift platform. Hopefully giving you some insights into the other features and functionalities that are available as part of the larger platform. And so let me jump in and get going. As mentioned, we'll do a quick brief intro to gshift, just so you have a sense of who we are and what we're all about. I'll talk a little bit about gshift and SiteCondor, and then give you a quick tour of gshift itself, and try to get all that wrapped up in a quick 20 minutes with QA at the end. So again, if you have any questions at all, feel free to enter them into the questions area within GoToWebinar here, and we'll be sure to take those up towards the end of the session. I'd also like to mention, happy to have you follow me online if you like. Most often you can find me on Twitter at jriddell. There's my email address as well if you have any questions, follow-on questions to today's session. All right, so let's get into it. In terms of gshift, our mission, really we're all about becoming the platform that marketers rely on to execute on owned and earned digital strategies, so that they can prove ROI on their content investments, starting with keywords through multiple channels and complete to customers. So we're talking about the full customer journey and customer experience with an organization's or a brand's web presence, whether that be with their website, with their external properties or presences, which can include, of course, social properties. We're really about providing insights into customer engagement with those properties wherever they may be. In other words, who we are, we're a SaaS company. Our DNA is really rooted in SEO, content, and analytics. We provide software and services to agencies as well as brands, or the marketing departments within brands and organizations, to help them ultimately better understand web presence and to glean insights into how to improve your overall discoverability. Again, that speaks to your larger web presence. So we're not just talking about websites and SEO optimizing for specific keywords, but looking beyond the site and the content that you maintain, whether it be in social channels or elsewhere. When's your data available? Really 24/7, whenever you need it. As again, being a software as a service company, you can log in, get access to your data whenever you need to get to it. We're located up in Barrie in Canada, in Ontario. Currently, we monitor upwards of 10,000 brands in 24 countries, both locally and globally. That's an important distinction for us. So whether you're working with a small local organization, local business, and or a global business that needs to understand what their web presence looks like and their visibility is like, either again down at that local level and or more globally, we're able to provide insights and data at both of those levels and everything in between. You can find us anytime at all online at gshiftlabs.com. And then ultimately, again, the why for us is we're really striving to make your marketing life easier by ultimately bringing all of the data, insights, and reporting that you need under one umbrella. The company was born out of the realization that optimizing a website and or optimizing a web presence these days is about gathering data from all of these different sources. And far too often, marketers, agencies spend more time trying to find the data and pull it all together than they do actually having the time to do anything about it. So gshift is about aggregating that data, bringing it again all of it together under one umbrella so that you can see it and make actionable decisions based on that data. So a little bit about gshift and SiteCondor, and why did we acquire SiteCondor in the first place? Well, we started from the standpoint of gshift offering individual on-site web page analysis and optimization recommendations by keywords. In other words, excuse me. In other words, it's basically we provided the recommendations around how to optimize a single page of content based on a specific keyword. So I want to rank for keyword A. What are the technical SEO factors that come into play for that specific keyword, whether it be title tags, heading tags, images, internal links? Where is that keyword and how is that keyword being leveraged within the context of that individual piece of content? And we provide some insight into whether or not that piece of content is ranking, where it's ranking for that specific keyword, so that you can make a decision and ultimately make decisions about which piece of content you should focus on. But where we recognized that we were lacking was in the larger full site audit, which obviously is the piece that SiteCondor brings to the table. So we were happy to be able to establish a relationship with the guys at SiteCondor, nurtured that relationship over a number of months, and finally kind of made the decision to move forward and bring the SiteCondor application into gshift. So right now we're in the process of effectively doing that. For all intents and purposes, right now, SiteCondor continues to operate as an autonomous tool. So you can go to SiteCondor.com, you can sign up for your plans, you can run your audits as you normally would. And we're going to continue on that basis for the next few months, to be sure. All the while, we're concurrently integrating SiteCondor into gshift as well. So our product roadmap includes bringing SiteCondor into our platform, where you'll be able to run your site audits on your own web properties and or competitive web properties, so that you can get some insights into the optimization of your own site, and or some insights into how your competitors have structured their sites, which we see as a big benefit of being able to do a site audit from a competitive analysis perspective. But then following on that, our broader product roadmap is what we really like to think of as Site Audit Plus, which would be more about focusing your attention once you run the site audit on the content pages that matter the most. Which are the pages that are ranking for specific keywords, have keywords that have a relatively high volume of search that we should be paying more attention to. So yes, we need to run a site audit and understand where all of the problems are, or all the potential opportunities are to improve our site. But really, we want to help to focus attention in on the, let's say, top 10, top 25, top 50 pages of the site, along with identifying which keywords and or content should we really be using to optimize that content, optimize those pages, and how. So whereas SiteCondor provides the basics around, there are titles that are missing, there are meta descriptions that are missing, there's image tags that are missing, we'll provide additional insight into what content should we be including and should we be using to optimize those items, and to make our site truly optimized for the keywords that we ultimately want to be found for. Which leads us into really the gshift platform, and the primary purpose today was to give you a little bit insight into what else is available now that SiteCondor is part of the larger gshift family, if you will. So I'm going to jump out of the PowerPoint. Everybody can breathe a a big sigh of relief, as if you're anything like me, PowerPoints can get a little bit dry. But we'll jump into the gshift application. And so here we are logged into gshift, and off the top I can let you know that we've built gshift around the perspective of and or specifically for agencies. Although I mentioned, brands can certainly leverage the tool as well, but we've built it based on an N-tier architecture, which means at the top level you have an agency account. Within an agency account, you can maintain multiple client accounts. And so here in our demo, your agency account, you'll see we've got several client accounts along with a definition of the users, the web presences, the search engines that we're following, keywords we're following, and our usage. Really, our usage comes down to the number of keywords and or the number of search engines that we're tracking in the platform. From the client level, we can drill down into what we consider web presences. And a web presence is effectively all of the web presence points that constitute discoverability or the visibility of an organization online. And so included in that, and in this case, we have a single web presence for this company that we're looking at called Norwood Sawmills. This is a live gshift customer who manufactures portable sawmills and distributes those worldwide, globally. So they make for a good site to talk about and to demo in terms of being able to show the breadth of the data that's available within gshift. But a web presence, again, you'll see really constitutes a combination of websites, and in this case, we have two sites, one which is their primary norwoodsawmills.com website, and the second which is a blog site that they use as a complement to produce content or publish content to. So they want to understand the visibility of the content that exists within those two sites. As well as potentially, so we have over here on the right, we're following those sites, but as well a specific number of pieces of on-site content, so pages that exist within either of those two websites. But then we also have the notion of external content being perhaps press releases or industry directory listings, yellow pages listings, local listings, any of those external points of presence or pieces of content that an organization, for all intents and purposes, owns but maintains external to their primary web property. And this is becoming an increasingly important piece of the web presence puzzle, in that recently it's been noted that a majority of a customer's or a consumer's engagement with a company actually happens off-site, whether it be socially or through their external content on reviews sites, perhaps, that they maintain on, again, directories where they have listings. A lot of that engagement with the brand's content isn't happening on the site. It's happening before they even get to the site. So we want to be able to track that as part of the grander web presence. As well as, you'll see social. So we have the ability to authenticate with Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. We also pull in data. We don't authenticate with Pinterest, but that becomes, again, points of presence that we want to understand in terms of the overall visibility of our brand. We also have full integration with Google Analytics as well as Google Webmaster Tools. Both of those are critical pieces of data that we bring in and help to enhance the data that we include in our platform around keywords and keyword positions, visibility. Looking at things in terms of which specific channels are driving traffic, which goals are being completed or conversions are being completed on the website or websites as they may be. Google Webmaster Tools gives us some insight into keywords as well as errors that may be occurring on the site. So an add-on to the information we can get through SiteCondor, for instance. So that's effectively what constitutes a web presence. Having configured our presence and identifying all of our points of presence, which we can add to over time as well. So as we create new pieces of content, pages on our site or externally, guest blog posts or new directory listings. We can continually add to and build on our web presence points and the pieces of content that we're reporting on, and again, their visibility. But having done the initial configuration, adding a specific number of keywords that we want to track as well. Although again, with that we can build on, because we've incorporated some keyword research tools that allow you to get a sense as to which keywords should I be following, and are there better keywords to follow over time based on how I'm currently ranking, or related to the keywords that I'm currently paying attention to. So there are some built-in keyword research tools, and I'll touch on that as we get a little bit deeper into the presentation. But from here, I've really got a couple of choices. I can go in and look at the basic presence data. So get into the meat of the data presented and gathered and presented to derive some insights into what to do next. I can generate reports, and for agencies, this is a really important function, being able to generate a monthly, or say a weekly, a monthly, a quarterly report on progress. So we have full web presence reports which cover the overall visibility of an organization. We have competitive specific reports, and we have keyword ranking specific reports. So a number of different reports which can be either run ad hoc or scheduled and delivered to your inbox on a weekly, a monthly, quarterly basis as need be, or delivered directly to the client if you prefer. So there's a reporting function that's a pretty important piece for agencies. Another newer component within gshift is a dashboard offering that we have, which really provides the ability to focus your attention in on the data that matters most. And maybe what I'll do is I'll jump in here to give you a sense of what our dashboard infrastructure looks like, because it's changing really the face of gshift and the data we present. And you'll see that within gshift, and this will also give you some insights into the types of data that we have available. So within the context of our dashboard environment, we've got a number of different demo dashboards we've sent up here. You see some that are web presence overview specific, some that are specific to competitors' data, social data, or keyword discovery data. But I'm going to jump into the website data overview, because I know that this one has sort of a well-rounded view of some of the data that's available. And you'll see that really this dashboard is fully configurable and customizable to pull in whatever data either within gshift or even potentially external to gshift you'd like to see, and ultimately be able to use to make better decisions about how to optimize your web presence or your client's web presence, again, if you're an agency. So you'll see across the top there's the ability to edit and configure what we call beacons, each one of these components of data. So you'll see we've got website traffic by channel, we've got traffic by device, we've got traffic by location, all of this data effectively being pulled from Google Analytics. But you can configure this dashboard to look at and review whatever data is applicable and appropriate for you. These beacons can be resized and moved around as you see fit. You can even add your own custom branding to these dashboards. Perhaps if you want to think about making a dashboard view available even to a client, or creating specific dashboards for specific users depending on their data needs. So to give you just a quick sense of what data again can be viewed or can be accessed, we've got some Google Analytics specific data which can be configured depending on what type of information we're interested in taking a look at. We've got website traffic by device and by channel, so a pretty detailed breakdown of where the traffic is coming to our site from. As I said, website traffic by location. We can also look at conversions. If we have goals set up in Google Analytics, we can look at conversions by channel, depending on where that traffic's coming from. Here's an example of, while there's a number of zeros up here, some data that's being pulled in through AdWords campaign. This is made available through the Google Analytics API, but we can see our basic AdWords data side by side with some of our other Google Analytics data to give us a sense of, again, what channels, what campaigns are driving the biggest engagement on our site. We can also take a look at competitive visibility or competitive comparison. So in this case, we're looking at a specific group of keywords that we're tracking. We've called this the focus group of keywords, and we're looking specifically at Google Canada. And what this tells us is where our clients are ranking relative to competitors for that entire group of keywords. Now, if we're looking for more detail or more of a breakdown of, okay, great, that's a group of keywords, what are the specific keywords and how am I doing for those, then I can click through and drill down into the details for those keywords. And this is one of the, within our primary panels, one of the primary data views that our clients spend time looking at, and it's our keyword positions view. So from here I can drill down and I can see each of the keywords within the group, the Focus English Keywords group that I've created. I can see my current position, I can see previous as well as highest, and in this case we're looking at the last 30 days. We can look at the last 7, last 30, last 90 days to get a sense as to where we're ranking for any of our chosen keywords. We can also get a sense of the search volume, and this is a pretty important piece of information because we want to understand which keywords have the highest potential of delivering traffic. So we provide search volume data to help you define that. And if I wanted to sort my keywords based on search volume, this would give me a quick way of getting a sense as to which keywords am I currently ranking or perhaps not ranking for that have the highest volume of search that I need to work on, along with the pages that are currently ranking for those specific keywords. So this tells me that if I'm looking to improve my position for the keyword sawmill, this is the current page that's ranking in the number 5 position. There's 3,500 searches done on this keyword on a monthly basis, and that's probably the page that I should be looking to further optimize and build up in terms of its authority for that specific keyword. So now if I want some more detail around that keyword, I can drill down into the keyword sawmill, and this will give me a detailed view of that specific keyword. In this case, I'm tracking this keyword. As I mentioned, this client, Norwood Sawmills, is a global company, so we're actually tracking it across multiple search engines, whether it be the US, Australia, and in this case, Bing US, Google Australia, Google United States, and so on and so forth. You'll notice we have YouTube as a search engine as well. We want to see if any of their videos are ranking for the keywords that they're paying attention to. So we can get a pretty detailed sense as to how well they're positioned for a particular keyword, in this case sawmill, across multiple engines, across multiple geographies. Furthermore, we can see which pages are ranking for this individual keyword. So there's our main portable sawmills page, but there are several other complementary pages that are ranking and or that we could use to leverage and further build on the authority of that primary page. We can also look at the top 50 search results for this keyword. Again, pretty important piece of information. So rather than doing a search on a daily basis, we can drill down, in this case, by search engine and see on a day-to-day basis how we're doing for the keyword sawmill in, say, for instance, Google Australia versus any of the other variations of Google, YouTube, Bing, or several other search engines that are available that we have data on. And we can look at those literally on a day-to-day basis. And what this provides us with is, again, that quick sense of the top 50, where we're ranking, where competitors are ranking. Apologize, I just had a mobile phone go off there. So where we're ranking, where our competitors are ranking, along with other pages or pieces of content are ranking, and we have at any time the opportunity to follow those other pages as either our external content, if that happens to be a piece of content that we own that's external to our website, or as our competitor, if we notice that that same domain is showing up perhaps for multiple, or it's a competitor that we identify within the top 50 search results. Obviously, in this case, Wikipedia probably not, but perhaps there's others through this list that would make sense to add as competitors. While we're here, I'll take a look also at related searches. So this is one of the insights we have into keyword research. These are the related keywords or searches that are done in relation to Sawmill. If you were to look at a search engine result page, down at the bottom there's always a list of related searches. This is provided, we provide this list along again with the search volume, so we can rank this list of related keywords and see if there's any keywords in this list that we should be following to understand whether or not we likewise rank or maintain any positions for those keywords. Perhaps there's some here that are appropriate to also follow or leverage or use within the context of our content marketing efforts. So that at a high level is sort of the intro to gshift. I'm cognizant of time, and I know we'd scheduled this for about 30 minutes. Across the top, I'll just quickly point out that we've taken a pretty detailed look at keywords. We also have detailed data around content, around social, and specifically when we look at social, maybe I'll just look in here quickly, we're talking about social signals being likes or shares or comments, either on pages you maintain, which we call page signals, or on your social networks, so on your Facebook page, on your Twitter account, on your Pinterest page. We consider all of those network signals as opposed to page signals. Those are increasingly important in terms of understanding how engaged your audience or how engaged your community is with your content. But in addition to that, from a social perspective, we provide a breakdown through Google Analytics of visits by network as well as conversions by network, so we can quickly identify which of those channels are delivering the top traffic and or conversions, ultimately to understand where to better focus our attention when it comes to social. One thing I haven't touched on at all is backlinks. We do have an integration with Majestic SEO, backlink service provider, really the de facto service provider out there to pull in backlink information so we can understand which sites are linking to us and helping to ultimately build our authority. We can drill down and look at our backlink history over time, as well as the individual backlinks that both we maintain as well as our competitors maintain. From a competitive perspective, we can start to understand maybe where our competitors are maintaining links or advertising that we could likewise be leveraging if we're not already, in order to ultimately build our authority. I'm sure anybody out there who's familiar with the concept of backlinks or backlink research understands that it's about quality and not quantity. So we look to try and identify those high quality relevant backlinking sources using this tool to help to build again our authority and perhaps level the playing field with our competition. And so speaking of competition, you can here in gshift identify competitors you want to follow and get a side-by-side comparison of how you're doing in terms of your visibility versus your competitors. So whether it be for specific keywords within a specific group of, or what we call clusters, breakdown again by search volume of how we're ranking versus competitors, to understand again where to focus our attention. And really, when it comes down to it, gshift is all about that. How do we ultimately focus our attention in on the keywords and or the content and or the channels that are delivering the results that we desire at the end of the day? And very much of that again comes from places like the dashboards and or the reporting that we can make available. So if we'll just finish by quickly going back to the dashboard view. Again, this gives us a breakdown of things like traffic over time, conversions by channel, traffic by channel. We can look at keyword visibility and or competitive visibility over time. And this is about understanding and defining trends and seeing where we can improve or get the biggest bang for our buck in terms of specific keywords, content, and or channels that are ultimately going to deliver that for us. So I know that was a lot of information in a relatively short amount of time, but I'm cognizant of time, and I wanted to stick to the half-hour time frame. So I'm going to stop here for now. Maybe I'll jump back out to my PowerPoint slide here, pop that up for you, and I'm going to. So I've provided a quick list here of resources. If you want more information on our platform, you can check out gshiftlabs.com in our web presence analytics section. We also have a very robust resources section with white papers, guides, other downloads, blog posts on SEO and content marketing, web presence optimization best practices that you're welcome to check out. Certainly, if you have any questions from a sales perspective, reach out to sales@gshift.labs.com, or there's my email address there at the bottom. But before I off, I will just quickly go and take a look to see if anybody's asked any specific questions. So one question here I see about keyword ranking, or the biggest question that this person was going to have was about keyword ranking, and hopefully I covered that. But if there's anything more specific you'd like to hear about our keyword ranking or keyword position data details, I'd be happy to try and answer those before we off. And I don't currently see any other questions. As mentioned, this session's been recorded, so we'll certainly be sending it out. And/or if any questions occur to you after the fact, you're more than happy to or welcome to reach out to, again, either sales or myself. Certainly feel free to follow me again on Twitter. Happy to answer questions there as well as anywhere. But otherwise, if there are no, oh wait, there's more questions. I just have to scroll down a little bit. Questions were addressed. Is there a freemium model? Unfortunately, no. With GShift at present, we don't really have a freemium model. That being said, we're happy to engage with you, talk about your specific requirements in terms of how you're looking to leverage the data, and kind of talk through what an appropriate pricing package might look like. Okay, so I've scrolled down through, I think, most, if not all, the questions. Hopefully, you were able to get a good sense in a short period of time of what GShift is all about. But absolutely happy to have further discussions if what I presented today is of interest and you see value for yourself and/or potentially your clients. So please do not hesitate to reach out. And thank you very much for your time and attention today, and look forward to possibly speaking sometime in the not too distant future. Thank you, everyone.